guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nadja Rashida Silvertree. Rashida Silvertree, that's what I prefer on here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is another video regarding forgiveness series, part of the forgiveness series. So I'm going to just feed off of the previous video on, why, forgiveness is such an unpopular topic. And I ended on, how pretty much when you can clear out that channel, clear out that line, the energy channel, so that you can receive your blessings and you can receive your gifts, you can receive and you can manifest things that you want and you desire. And I want to get into how that is pretty much the birth of a healer. So when we go through traumatic events, traumatic experiences in our human lifeline, there's an opportunity. It's almost an initiation, if you will, for a healer to be born. A lot of our trauma sometimes is in the form of either a physical ailment or it's comes from someone in the physical. So it's something that happens that's severely traumatic within our body, or it's induced from another person. It comes from somebody else, right? But it deals with our physical body itself. And it causes such a that traumatic event is so awful and so horrible and so heavy and dense. And, it's usually something that when with trauma, you feel like something is being taken from you. And then it's almost like your heart, perfect example. It's like your heart's being ripped out of your chest. And then someone takes a stone and they put it in place of your chest. And that's what you have to live with for the rest of your life. That to me is a perfect example of trauma. Okay? Someone ripping open your chest, taking out your heart, taking it for themselves. Right? If you guys have seen, oh gosh, what's that movie called? Howl's Moving Castle? Yeah. Where, Howl has his heart, right? And everyone wants his heart. Like which is the one his heart. Okay? It's something so pure and so loving. And your heart's ripped out, and then that person or that event places a stone there and sews it back up, and that's what you have to deal with. I'm saying that's the feeling. So this is, unfortunately, as traumatic as it is, but this is an initiation for many, many people. And we have certain seasons and cycles in our life where we can choose to activate. We become activated to become our own healer, to learn to heal ourselves. Okay? And no, I'm not saying I had this accident and now I'm meant to go out and become the shaman. I'm not saying, I had a horrible, terrific marriage and it was abusive and all this, and then so I was called to become this guru out, in India. Or, I had, like this stolen from me and my business ruined by someone I trusted. And so now I'm called to become a Christian pastor. I'm not talking about that. Those things do happen. And those are very, very beautiful things. Beautiful callings to have. I'm talking about sovereignty here. I'm talking about you're internalizing your experiences to heal yourself. That is the birth of a healer. The healer that's able to heal themselves from the inside. being able to break down the egoic barriers. The ability to break down the egoic barriers, and you're able to realize all that is there. The all that is God, source, or your Jesus, or Allah, or source, or womb of all creation, all. And when you realize, when those barriers go down, you see that it's in you. It truly is inside. And then you have a choice. And you're shown how to remove that energy, or actually how to alchemize that energy, to transmute that energy into something else, to take that stone of a heart and to alchemize it into something bigger and brighter, more loving than ever before. That is a true healer. Healers who can heal themselves I feel, are more equipped to heal others. I'm not saying, you have an illness or you broke an arm or something. I'm saying on a metaphysical level. Because a lot of our physical ailments that we go through, and a lot of our experiences that we go through, are karmic. They're supposed to happen. Yes, I know it sucks to hear. They just freaking happen. We have no freaking control if a person tries to take or violate us sexually or financially or emotionally or psychologically, right? We just don't. We go in with good intentions or maybe confused intentions, and we have no idea that we're in it. We're in it, and we're about to experience something that will shatter us, right? So I'm not trying to say, if you have any physical ailments that are limiting, that you have there's no way for you to heal other people. That I want to make sure I clarify. I really, really, really do. A lot of our physical ailments and physical limitations of our physical form, our physical body, are our own personal lessons, our own personal stuff that we have to just settle with. But I want to get back in the space of when you're being injured by someone specifically, by someone else, right? By somebody else. And yeah, I've dealt with people, who deal with terminal illnesses that can never be cured and they're dying. Like I work with those people. Okay? That's like their own internal thing. They have to settle with, they have to accept, they got to go through that. I'm talking about if this trauma comes from somebody else, right? And they take your heart and they place a stone there. I'm talking about moving and that gives you, opens up that opportunity to know God, to know consciousness, to know the self more than ever before. It is an opportunity. Transformation, spiritual transformation is painful. It's like a birth. So a breakup, for example, it's a death and a birth, all at the same time. Deaths and births are the same thing. Really, they really are. Completely different circumstances, but it's an entering and exiting between worlds that's going on here. So you have a being coming into human form, and then you have a being leaving the human form. Right? Where was I going with that? Oh yes, the birth of the healer. So you die during these transformative moments, but you have a choice. You do have a choice to be your own healer. Sometimes sometimes we're so deep in our trauma, so deep into something that, you know, we do need a healer to come. We need guidance from another person. I'm not saying don't go out there, or if someone you know you feel pulled to, and they feel pulled to you, and they're helping you guide or help guide you through something. I'm not saying avoid that. I'm just saying, you know, this is about sovereignty. Sovereignty is knowing of the self, working with the self, knowing that you are the all. You don't necessarily have to run and externalize so much. Yes, you still have your support system, have your therapist, have your pastor, have your imam, have your guru, have your shaman, have your family, have your friends. I'm saying though, also have you. Because with you, you find source. Source flows through all those beautiful people that I just mentioned. But you have you. So with forgiveness, forgiveness gives birth to the healer. When the healer can release blockages metaphysically from their being, it may not cure the physical, because there's the physical body. That's why our bodies are so badass, because they it's so interesting working in medicine, in the medical field, because I can see how a person has lived their life. When there's no more life in their body, you can see, you study, you observe what they've done, how they've lived, what they ate, what they did for a living. It's amazing. The body keeps the score. The body takes those physical blows, surgeries and sutures and cuts and scars and amputations, all that. But metaphysically, when you heal yourself, that is powerful. You may be missing a leg or an eye or fingers, a breast, a foot. I've seen it all. I've seen it. I don't want to say I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of that. And that affects you metaphysically. It truly does. There's something in the spirit. See, before illnesses, before things happen that are catastrophic to the body, the physical form, it happens on the spiritual. Okay? It happens in spiritual, then it enters into the mentat, the mind. Then it channels into the emotional energy field, and then it manifests into the physical body. That's a simple. If I try to explain it anymore, it's a lot. It's a whole. That's probably a whole series in itself when it comes to metaphysical, like the connection between the metaphysical illness and physical illness. It's real. They go hand in hand. So back onto the topic. The birth of the healer is very, very potent. Okay, it's a very beautiful, painful time. It's like when it's happening, it sucks. It's miserable. But when it's like when the baby arrives, okay, which is you. It's like you're giving birth to you. It's weird, right? Like you have a dying part of yourself, and then you have this part of yourself that's you're pregnant with something. You're pregnant with this hard ass rock of a heart, okay? And then the birthing process is just beyond painful, okay? But then when you deliver something beautiful, and it's you, a new you, a different version of you, but it's a new you. So I say all this because I'm actively going through it myself. I'm not an expert. I'm just Rashida, you know? I'm just a person using this digital thing and my cell phone and making and just sharing this stuff with you guys. But forgiveness is so, so important. oh my God, I wish there was just, it was such a popular, I mean, I know that there's thousands and thousands of videos on this, but not as popular as some trending topics I see and catch whiff of on the digital, in the digital world, in the virtual reality. You know? I don't know. I just feel so like alive whenever I'm speaking about forgiveness because it's so it's so like you feel God. You know, you feel consciousness, you feel truth, you feel release, you feel relieved when talking about, you know, in this frequency of forgiveness. You give for who? You give, you like you, you allow those clear waters to just come through, and then the manifestation comes through so clearly because the pipe is good. The pipe's been replaced, you know? So I didn't mean for this to be so long, but I'm just so passionate about it. And I truly hope that this message finds you well, guys, because I know it's not, you know, something like, oh, forgiveness, oh, you know, you're gonna run away, but it truly is. All of us can find that rock in us, that hard thing in our being that we need to release, and so give birth, become the healer, you know, become your own healer. Thank you so much for tuning in. 16 minutes is a long time. If you if you hung in there, I really, really, really am very grateful because this message I find, if all of the videos is so important, all of my videos, this one I believe is up top tiers, one of the most important videos I can put out. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.